Hi. So this is my first official anxiety journal video that I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna do this while I do my skincare because I just feel like when I do my skincare, I'm just kind of like prepping for the day, and I just feel like it's the best time for me because it's long and I have time to process. So I'm starting this channel because I need an outlet, and that's primarily why I want to do this. But I'm also doing it because I think that a lot of people have this issue and nobody really talks about it. I'm really messy. And I'm not really quite sure why people don't want to talk about it, because every time I've talked to somebody about what is going on with me, I've always felt 10 times better when they can relate. So yeah, this is why I'm doing this. So about, I want to say 2 months ago, yeah, this is definitely like first thing in the morning, so not glammed up, not cute, but it is what it is, right? So about 2 months ago, I had my first like real intense panic attack, to the point where I thought I was having a heart attack. Let that sit for a little bit. And it was really scary for me. Like, that was the first time that I ever felt like I didn't have control over my body, and that I was just in a really scary and almost like a life-threatening position. And I really didn't know what it was. Like I said, I thought I was having a heart attack, so I ended up going to the ER, and then they told me, hey, you're having a panic attack, it's not a heart attack, so that's a good thing. And I'm like, oh, doesn't feel like good news, because that was really awful. But it was, because heart attacks can actually kill you and a panic attack can't, and that's something that I've had to drill into my head ever since they started coming on. So after that first panic attack that I had, it was like every single day for about a week, of one after the other, I would come down, and then as soon as I came down, I would peak right back up. And I like to put them on like a scale of 1 to 10, and they were always like 8s. For a whole week, I was exhausted. I was mentally and physically drained. I couldn't do anything besides work. I work remotely, so I mean that helped, but I barely did good work, which really sucked because I am based off of like quality and quantity, and that was really hard to maintain. And my husband, is a saint, because he did basically everything for me at that time. Like, he cooked, he brought me my drinks, he really made sure that I was feeling safe and comfortable, and really did a lot for me. He would run to the grocery store. If I had like to drop off something to like a relative or a friend, he would go do it for me. I didn't even leave the house that week, and I barely wanted to leave the house the following week. And so this has been going on for about, I did the math the other day, and it's only been about 2 months, and it feels like a year. Okay, maybe not a year, but at least 6 months. And I feel like how could that be? You know, I've been struggling with this for so long. Well, it feels like so long. But anyways, after that, so I've been going into therapy, and that has been really helping me with my PTSD, because I grew up in a very abusive family. Growing up, it was verbally and physically abusive, and then I had an absentee parent as well. So just really feeling like I didn't have support, I didn't have safety, I didn't have, and the shelter that I had was not somewhere that I wanted to be. So, which brings me to why I think this is happening to me when I'm about to turn 28 tomorrow, but this started happening to me at 27 and not earlier, because I've had a lot of, moments in my life where I thought, oh, this is the worst thing that's happening to me, whether it was a heartbreak, whether it was abuse, whether it was just being lonely or feeling alone. And I never went through this. So I think I've come to the conclusion, and I know that like your brain does what it does when it wants to, and it doesn't often have a reason. But my reasoning that makes sense to me is that a year ago, I quit drinking and I quit anything else, so I became sober. And drinking was a really big problem for me because I was an angry drunk, and I could literally have maybe 2 drinks and then I would be like spiraling out of control, which really sucked because I just wanted to like let loose and not think about my problems and just numb, which I was a huge fan of, because everything that I'm feeling right now, being sober, is entirely intense. So I quit drinking, and after that I ended up leaving a really high intensity job. Every day I was being cussed at. I was in a just a really shitty situation, and I'm gonna need this again. And so I quit that, and then I started working remote. So not leaving the house, being in the comfort of my own home, relatively easy job. And I had repaired my relationships with people. I had a really great, and I still do have a really great relationship with my husband. I moved in with, family. They're all around us now, and I've never been more financially secured. So when this started happening to me, I felt really mad, and I can feel myself tearing up because of the anger. I feel and felt really mad because I was like, how dare you not let me enjoy this part of my life? When it's finally getting good, it just feels like my brain and my body is sabotaging me, sabotaging my own happiness. And then I realized that it's just my brain thinking that this is too good to be true. It's never this good. So you have to prepare for the bad that's coming. And I really, really believe that my brain and my body is trying to protect me because it's never felt so safe. And it may be like a foreign concept to me right now. So I've had to really reassure myself that I am safe and that I am happy, and that everything that's going on right now, this is what I learned from my therapist. That was then, so I have to, that was then, and this is now. And it sounds kind of silly at first, but really your body retains everything. So you might as well help your body retain this movement of that was then, this was now. And my body is stuck in the then of not feeling safe and not feeling that warm feeling that you're supposed to feel with your caregiver, with your parent. And so I'm having to reparent myself right now and reteach myself and acclimate myself to a really nurturing and caring and loving and safe environment. And that's proven to be more difficult than I anticipated. So yeah, like I said, I'm in therapy. I am looking at certain medications because 2 days ago, I had a really, really intense panic attack. And I've been having them maybe like once a week, but they don't get any higher than, I want to say like a 5. And yesterday was my first 8 since the first one, which really sucked because it's like all of my, everything went out the window. Everything that I've learned went out the window. The breathing, telling yourself you're safe, asking yourself, are you safe? And then thinking about things that you're grateful for, and then switching what you're doing to something that you think that would help distract you, like going to color, going to journal, maybe a meditation, going to cook something that you really love. And it literally all went out the window, and I couldn't help but feel like I was just taking 2 major steps back. I just felt like everything that I had learned went out the window, and that I made all of this progress for nothing. And I had like 2 emergency therapy sessions because I thought, like this is just something that I can't deal with by myself. And I felt really scared to be alone for some reason. Just that fear of it happening again and it being more intense. And so what calmed me down that day, and I mean, obviously everybody's different, but I went to go hug my husband, and he held me, and I just sobbed and sobbed. This is what has been happening a lot lately. It's just me just overwhelmingly crying, just like everything. It's like I feel like I'm a geyser, really, just like fully ready to erupt at any given moment. Because I have just so much down here that needs to come up. And so, yeah, that's been the beginning of this journey for me. It's been very intense. I've had really big feelings lately. And I'm not like a makeup artist by any means. Like, I am just doing what I'm doing. This isn't like something that I'm just doing this so that I can talk, really. So definitely not a makeup person. I am just wanting some coverage for today because I'm gonna go get my hair done. Because like I said, tomorrow is my birthday. I am turning 28. So I'm getting close to 30, and I'm finally dealing with my childhood trauma, because it doesn't forget. Your body never forgets, and it keeps count of everything that you have gone through. So if you ever think, oh, that's in the past, it can definitely resurface as an adult, even if you're 40 or 50. 60, it doesn't matter, and maybe it is already resurfacing or peeking its head and you're not even noticing the signs, like anxiety that is just popping up, but you're just kind of thinking, oh, I have just a hectic life, and but you could be being triggered by some things in your life that was a trigger back then as a child. So I'm going to be posting weekly videos, just going over how I'm doing every week. And like I said in the beginning, it's going to be more like a diary for myself, because I find that talking to somebody, even though this is just my camera, that I seem to get a lot out, and I just want other people to know that this is definitely not something they should feel alone in. Everybody goes through things, and you know, sometimes it does suck when people around you don't know what you're talking about. Like, my husband has never experienced anything like this. He's never experienced anything like depression, anxiety, panic attacks, anything. He had a really good upbringing, and that really worked in his favor. So I, on the other hand, am riddled with PTSD and all sorts of other things, because I have been through some shit in my life, and this is what I get, honestly, for not dealing with it before. I mean, I went to therapy, but like not like this. Definitely not like this. So my unfiltered, unlicensed, you know, just friend to friend advice is that, oh yeah, this is my favorite sweater. Like, I don't know, it's just all the cozy vibes, right? And then my dog decides to chew a hole in it, and I'm like, maybe my hair will cover it up, and it does, but sometimes it peeks out and I look like I'm like homeless, and I'm like, I'm not. I just have dogs that like to eat my clothes. So that's always fun. So friend to friend advice is find a therapist that really knows how to work with something like this. Or works with PTSD if you have that, anxiety, depression, bipolar, whatever you're specifically dealing with, they specialize in. And if they have gone through it themselves, extra props, because then they really know where you're coming from. And to me, I find that that is really comforting. Talk to your friends. Talk to safe friends that you know will sit there and, even though they haven't been through what you're going through, can at least offer you a safe place to tell them what you're going through without any judgment or giving that impression off of, well, you know, it could be worse. Yeah, of course it could be worse. I could lose a limb. I could die tomorrow. I could, you know, anything terrible can happen to me. But for right now, this is happening to me, and it feels intense, and it feels, you know, like overbearing, and it feels like sometimes it's taking over my life if I don't really use my entire mind, body, and soul to counteract it. And then after that, I'm super drained, and yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel like myself anymore. But what I keep telling myself is that the old me before this panic attack is no longer here. She has been left behind, because the old me couldn't handle all of this stuff that I am going through right now. So I'm leaving her behind. She got me to this point. She got me all the way to this level in life. And I'm thankful and I am appreciative and I love her. But right now, this is a new me that has to deal with the new reality in my life. And I'm hoping that once I figure out the key to not being fearful of my panic attacks and really just saying, okay, this is happening to me, that I will be a new and more powerful person than before. Okay, bye.